All right, good morning, guys, or good day. I'm a morning person, so if I say good morning and it's in the middle of the night when you're watching this, don't think nothing of it. But anyway, we're gonna do our something different talk time today and kind of changing it up just a little bit. But I'm over here at the big garden, and I just thought I'd show you a little something that I worked on. I wished I'd have got a video on this, but I was in a hurry and I wasn't able to do that. But let me spin this around. I'll show you what I worked on here. This is a partial row of garlic that I planted this, I don't know, it might have been about the 1st of November, somewhere along in there, I can't remember. And it's actually started. Well, it's came up, I mean, not long after I planted it, so I hope it'll go through the stratification like it's supposed to. But I come up here, see, Saturday, yeah, guess it was late Saturday evening with my 8N, and I plowed the, kind of got some of the dirt out of the weeds out of it, and worked a little dirt to it, so maybe that would help keep it from freezing. So anyway, I just thought I'd show you that. I've got another little spot right down here, the edge here all the way out to where you can see that red cup right there. I guess you can see it. I can't see it on this, but I had a few what they call the corns that grow on garlic. I put them there. I've not seen any sign of them yet. That don't mean they won't, but thought we'd just see. But guys, from my experience, and see, we've just been back here, you know, probably 5 years, and I've started tending this field again. And from my experience, the garlic, once you get it started somewhere, you've got it pretty much for life. So we didn't have none around here, and I thought I'd start some around here. But anyway, I just thought I'd show you that real quick while I'm over here. Kind of come over here when I want to be alone, I want to be quiet, and I don't want nobody bothering me. And so that's why we're here today. So we're going to get started in our something different talk time now. So let me get set up for that. All right, guys, we'll try this again. Did get the footage over at the big garden. I was showing you my garlic, and then I got set up, got my camera set up and everything, and I started into my talk, and my battery went dead. I don't know if it's because of the temperature, because I let it warm up. It's actually afternoon now, and it was like 9:30 when I did that. So I went on and took care of some other things. I thought, well, I'll try this again. I don't like to push it this close because, you know, the uploading time that I have. So, but hopefully we'll be able to get this in and get it took care of. But anyway, I want to welcome you to our something different time today. And one thing I failed to say, we'll come out with a new video on this, Lord willing, every Wednesday morning at 6 o'clock. That's at Eastern Standard Time. I don't know how that works, you know, to those of you that are in different time zones than us. We're here on the East Coast, and so that's when it'll come out. And I know we've got other folks that do theirs on Tuesdays, and I don't want to interfere with their work because I like to watch them as well. I get a lot of learn a lot, you know, by watching these others and enjoy watching them too. So anyway, just wanted to say that this is something that I'm trying to do on a regular basis each week, every Wednesday morning at 6 o'clock in the morning. We'll have this to come out. So, and I do want to thank all of my subscribers. I've been getting a lot of good encouraging comments lately, and I do want to take my time to say thank you to each one of you. Even if you've not commented and you just watch the video, I appreciate that. And if you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. That helps my channel, as well as hitting that like button on the video. And If you are a subscriber, be sure that you hit the little bell icon, because it'll alert you every time I put out a new video. And so all of those things are important, and so I like to share that at the beginning and go ahead and get that behind us. And one more thing, uh, he didn't say I could not share this, so I'm going to go ahead and share it because I've not heard any more back from him. But Mr. Howie over at Cedar Creek Homestead messaged me over the weekend and asked us to pray for him and Miss Josie, and they are both real sick. So he asked us to pray, and so thought I would just go ahead and make that public today. Mr. Howie, I hope I didn't overstep my bounds by doing that. And but he asked us to pray for him, and so maybe you may know and you may not. So now you do. So he's got a real good channel. If you're not familiar with Mr. Howie, Cedar Creek Homestead, you go over and check him out. And I love Mr. Howie. I think the world of him and Miss Josie. Just all around good guy. And we've never met in person, but we've chatted some, over emails and different things. And so uh, chances are, this side of eternity we'll probably never see each other, but I'm looking forward to someday we will get to see each other in the by and by. So anyway, just remember them in your prayers, and keep them in prayer. So I want to go ahead and get started into our talk time, and I have a little something at the end I'll share with you. So don't just cut this off in the middle ways, and don't skip over. You might miss something important. But I do want to share one more thing before I close this out today. But I want to do a follow-up kind of on our last porch time. We were talking about dealing with depression. And I don't want to leave you hanging. I feel like that was kind of a cliffhanger, and I did not intend for it to be that way, because that wasn't the end of the story. And I mentioned on a video back in the summer, I think it was called Planting Our Gardens or something like that. I wanted to do a video on how YouTube saved my life, and it's took me all this time to get to where I am today. So, but there was YouTube. God used YouTube to help deliver me from that depression that I was in. When I was going through all that, guys, I didn't know what YouTube was. I knew very little about the internet. I didn't even own a computer at that time. And the first computer we ever had was one that someone was cleaning out their belongings and downsizing a little bit, and they just gave it to my wife. And so she took it and set it up, and she set up internet so we would have high-speed internet. And my brother, he was familiar, a little bit with computers. And then I had a guy at work. He schooled me a lot on, it was the old Windows XP, if most of you remember that software. And so he had helped me a whole lot. And I think this was around 2010. As a matter of fact, if you'll check on my channel, I think that's when it originated. I think it was probably about this time of year. It's either November or December in 2010 is when I started this channel. And so anyway, we got internet, and I was having to learn that, learn my way around on it and all sorts of things, but had people to help me and show me, the ins and outs of it. But I began searching terms, like gospel music, old-time farming and plowing and tractors and things, things that I take interest in. And man, I mean, the world was opened up to me. And so anyway, long story short, I was opened up to that. And I mean, I sat and pulled up different videos, and it just, I don't know, especially religious, like gospel music and preaching and things of that nature. And guys, during that time, I was not in church. I'm ashamed to say that. But it made me realize what I was missing by not being in God's house and being with God's people. And God began to use that to put a hunger, a desire to be back amongst his people. He put that back in my life. And so I was sitting there one day, and usually thing on Sunday mornings, because during that time I think I've mentioned before, I was helping my brother with his chicken houses, and that was a daily, everyday job. And 7 days a week, 20, you know, 365 days. Well, no, I won't say that, but when you had the chickens there, you had to be with them. Now, I got a little bit of a break when they sold, and other than, I might once in a while help him with cleaning the houses out or getting them prepared for the new batch. But, I had a little bit of a break there. But anyway, I had come in that Sunday morning. I'd try to get up early and get down there before daylight and get my work done, and where I could get back in time to see them before they went to church. And a lot of times I'd cook Sunday dinner. But a lot of times too, I would find me a preacher on YouTube, especially if someone that I'd known from the past, and I could pull them up and listen to them, different things. But I began to remember preachers that I knowed from my youth, and I would just type their name in just to see if anything come up. And believe it or not, I typed one in, and there was a message on there. And as soon as I pulled that message up, I saw what it said, the title of it. I can't remember exactly how it went, but it was something like Why Christians Go Through Depression, or somewhere along those lines. Anyway, it caught my eye. And I sat down and listened to it. And his message so captivated my full attention, because he described to the T everything I'd went through. And after listening to that, I found myself on my knees and crying out for God's mercy and asking God to forgive me. And I repented and got right with God. Now, I've not been perfect since, and neither is anyone else. But that part of my life, I told you that God used that part of life. It changed me. I'll never be what I was before that. And if you've ever went through a LCE, like that, life-changing event like that, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And so anyway, I got back in church after that. The following Sunday, when they came home from church that Sunday morning, I sat them down at the table before we eat our Sunday dinner, and I shared with them what had happened. And we had a little shouting spell, my wife did. Anyway, I got back in church, and I've been back in church ever since. That was in 2013, if my memory serves me right. And so that's how God used YouTube to save my life. And I figured if, my video could help save someone else, it may just put a hunger in somebody. I don't know. But there was a young lady, she's still on here, matter of fact, and I watch her videos a lot. And she is very talented playing a Hammond organ. And when I say a Hammond organ, a lot of people cringe at that. They think of funeral music, I guess, or something like that. I hope that wind's not a problem. But she's not playing funeral music. And now, guys, I'm an independent Baptist, and if you're something different, I don't criticize you for that. Please don't criticize me for that. I'm not proud of all of them. But this dear lady, and I believe she's a born again Christian too, but I think she's of the Pentecostal holiness. But I don't hold that against her at all. I'm not prejudiced in that. So don't take wrong what I said there. But I know we have little differences in our views and things, and that's fine. But there's one thing I believe we all agree on, and that's the blood of Jesus Christ is the only answer to the sin problem that's in the world today. I believe we can agree on that and some other things too. But anyway, God used her to put a hunger back in me. And that Hammond organ is special to me. I mean, that goes back a long time. And sorry about this. But anyway, God used that to put a desire, a hunger, and matter of fact, I left a message on one of her videos, recent videos that she put up. But just by her coming on and doing a little 3-4 minute video, God used that to put a hunger back in me to get back into the things of God, to get back in His house. And so guys, don't ever underestimate what you do, that it might be small, because little is much if God's in it. And God used that. God used her mightily there. And if I try to remember it, I'll put a link to her YouTube channel down below. I think it's James Flowers. That is her father. Jen Flowers is her name, but that girl can play that Hammond organ now. I mean to tell you, and I promise you, you will not go to sleep. It's not boring organ music by no means. So anyway, guys, and I can't play. I can't play nowhere near close to her level at all. I mean, I have my own style. Wished I could get some of hers though. But anyway, just thought I would share that. That's how God used YouTube to put a hunger, put a desire to get back in line and be the man I'm supposed to be. So anyway, I know this has been a little different. Now, this will probably be the last of this talking about my LCE, so to speak. But I didn't want to leave nobody hanging, and I did not do that video for attention or nothing like that, or to try to get views on my channel. I know it kind of coincided with that message. I do get discouraged with my channel from time to time. It just don't, but it's just what it is. If it goes, it goes. If it don't, it don't. I'm still planning on trying to make videos regardless. And, I've got all kinds of things that I could put on here. I'll say more about that in a minute. But we're trying to do all we can, and I hope and pray that I can continue to stay at home and work and try to do the best I can. I don't know what our future holds in that regard. I don't know if anybody's going to be able to work public work much longer, the way things are getting. But that remains to be seen. But anyway, guys, just pray for us in that regard there, that God will keep this door open, for me to have the time to do this. Because when you're working public work, it is challenging, very challenging. So, those of you that still do that, you know what I'm talking about. So anyway, that's where we're at. But I've got other subjects that I want to talk about on these something different times in the future. One of them might be barking dogs. They've got stirred up. Something stirred them up down there. But anyway, we have other topics that we want to talk about. Hopefully it'll be, relevant to our time that we're in. But I know right now a lot of people are probably facing depression. And so that was my biggest reason for putting that out. So, but anyway, guys, I thank you for listening. And one more thing, I want to do something. I've got a couple of things in mind up the road. I want to try to do a little kind of, I don't know how you describe this. It's just for fun. I'm going to try to make a prediction on something, and I may say more about it at the end of this month. I'll do a video on it. And if I get the prediction wrong, I want y'all, this is where y'all will come into play. I don't know exactly how to do this. Give me some ideas of a video you would like to see me do. And you can be doing this now. You can leave it on this video if you'd like. But give me some ideas of a video you'd like to see me do if I lose my prediction. Now, if I win my prediction, y'all got to get me up to 100,000 subscribers. No, I won't do that. That would be asking the impossible. But no, I just want to do this for fun, and I'll say more about that toward the end of this month. Another thing I'm thinking about doing, and I want to do another giveaway, but this will be giving away a piece of me. I have several seeds. Now, I'm not going to be able to give away enough seeds for you to plant an acre field, so I don't want nobody to think that. But I have plenty of seeds that I would love to share with someone, and it will basically be enough seeds that you can start a seed collection of your own. They're heirloom seeds, and if you had a little small place that you would be able to start some, a little small garden. Now, I've got tomatoes, I've got Cherokee purples, if I can find those. I've got tons of those seeds. If I can round up a handful, and then I've got those tomato tomatoes. I've got gobs of those seeds. I've got the Red Ripper field peas. And guys, if you plant those, you better have something they'll run from here to the East Coast just about. So they run pretty wild. So, but just a little small packet of a handful of seeds that I would be willing to share. We might do a giveaway or something where we have a drawing and maybe pick 2 winners and just give away those or something. I'm just thinking in the lines of something, because I would love to be able to get a piece of me, something that I've had my hands on, something that I've worked with, because I've actually got seeds from YouTubers, and I've got those in my collection now, and they're special to me because I ordered them from people that have been a blessing to me on YouTube. And so I've got several things. I'll say more about that. Now, if there's something particular that you would like, and if I have it, I would be just thrilled to death to be able to help you out with that. So if there's something distinctly that you're looking for, feel free to message me in this video, and I will definitely try to see if I can't find that for you, or I may already have it. So anyway, guys, I'm going to finish this up here. My battery's holding up good now, so it went dead on me. I don't remember if I mentioned that or not, but it went dead on me. I've tried to do it over at the big garden, and I have the little clip at the beginning you saw. So anyway, we tried to get that done. I'm trying to keep my videos a little smaller, unless I'm really into what I'm talking about. I'll try not to get too in-depth with it. But do remember to keep Brother Howie and Miss Josie in your prayers, because I think the world of them. And there's several others. I was just made aware of a gentleman that I knew when I lived in Albemarle. They were having to wait to get him a hospital bed. So he is, I think he's been admitted now to the hospital. So Lord knows who that is, so keep him in your prayers. We had a little scare the first of the week, but turns out it was all based on rumors, My son, he came home about 4:30 in the morning. He works the night shift. He came home about 4:30 in the morning, going on 5 o'clock, and I was already up. And he said, they sent me home. He said, one person on the line got family members that's got it. And so they just shut the whole line down, sent everybody home. But turned to find out that it was all based on someone in their family that had it back in April, I think. So it all got everybody panicked. And guys, if you're a panicky person, God help you. But it had me thinking, I'll be honest with you, strings that I could pull to keep income going. So anyway, guys, it's a different time that we live in. And I tried to say this in the other video that I tried to make and it failed. I believe regardless whatever happens, I believe God's going to take care of his children if we'll keep him first. The only time, if you'll study the children of Israel, the only time they had any kind of suffering was because of their disobedience. If you'll look in the scriptures, and there was times, that enemies came against them, but long as God prevailed, as long as they stayed true to God, they always prevailed, folks. So those things were written in the scripture aforetime for our learning. So I just take great consolation in that. If we'll keep him first in our lives, I believe he's going to take care of us. Nope, it's not going to be a bed of roses. When they were in the wilderness and they were having to eat manna, guys, there's a lot of work in that. You need to study that. And when they had to harvest that manna, that was very small, minute particles of bread that they actually had to get down with tweezers, what we would call tweezers today, and pick that stuff up. It wasn't just big loaves of bread, Merita loaf bread falling out the sky, I promise you that. So, it was a tough time. And I think about Elijah, and a lot's been said about Elijah. I believe it was Elijah when he went to Zarephath, if I remember right. And there was a little widow woman there, and she was going to bake a loaf of bread. She's down to her last little bit of flour and her last little bit of oil. She told her son to go fetch some sticks, and she was going to make bread, and that was going to be their last meal, and then they would starve to death. Well, Elijah comes on the scene. It's either Elijah or Elisha. I'm just going by memory here. But the preacher comes on the scene, and he says, now a lot of people just, oh boy, they would just, if this was today's world, oh, it'd be awful. But he says, that's fine. But he said, you go fix me a cake first, and then you and the lad, then you fix one for you and the lad. Now that really sounds selfish. But she did what he said. And you know what the Bible said? Said that the barrel of meal did not go dry, and the cruse of oil did not fail. And they didn't do without, because she obeyed God's mouthpiece, so to speak. She obeyed him, and therefore God blessed her with that. And I thought about Elijah. It may be an Elijah. When he was running from Jezebel, he went down to a brook, the brook Cherith, I believe it said. And the Bible speaks of the ravens, which is a crow, bringing him meat and flesh. And he drank from the brook. Now, guys, I want to say something. Have you ever seen what a crow can bring up? That's not appealing. So I've heard messages preached about eating at Elijah's Steakhouse. Wouldn't be appealing, but he did not starve to death. That's the main thing. But guys, if we'll keep God first, I believe He's going to take care of us as His children. And I don't know what the future holds. I know I've heard a lot of people talk of different things. And just sit back and listen. And try not to take everything at face value. Listen to what you hear. And stay in the book, because I promise you, God's got something in there for you that'll calm your nerves. It'll settle you right down. So anyway, well guys, it's been a long, I've got a lot to do yet. I've got a project here. I hope I can put it on video. I'm going to be under the house doing a little work. We had a breakdown of some equipment underneath that I've got to deal with, so hopefully I can bring you along and show you about that. So anyway guys, I'm going to get off here today. Y'all have a great day, have a great week, and we'll talk to you the next time. Thank you from Little NC Farmer.